Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Hope you're all doing very well. We're here from Chelsea versus Bournemouth in the Premier League this Saturday afternoon. Be careful with me because I am a little bit hungover, so just to let people know about that. But yes, very excited about this in the sense that if Chelsea were to drop points, it would be helpful for Manchester United. So and you know, maybe any other team that wants to get top four. So I do think it's going to be interesting. I do think that but Bournemouth have not been particularly well. We will be keeping an eye on all the other 3 o'clock games as well. But really, I'm hoping that Chelsea do drop points today in the Premier League and open up that door that they keep opening up quite a lot in relation to the top 4 battle. They do open it up a lot. Bournemouth have been pretty poor recently, though, so it's not a foregone conclusion that that Chelsea will drop points. It could be quite a good game for them. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Just going to get myself ready up here. It's not kicked off yet. It may have kicked off how you're watching it, but it hasn't kicked off yet. Scores and fixtures. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Team news is as follows. So Chelsea starting with Caballero in goal again, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Tomori, James, and Jorginho, Kovacic, Alonso, Pedro, Mount, and Giroud. So he's not starting Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham's not even on the bench, so don't know what's going on there. Batshuayi's on the bench, Loftus-Cheek's on the bench, Willian's on the bench, Barkley's on the bench, but no place for Tammy Abraham. Must have an injury, is what I would say. That's all I can tell you. He must have an injury at this moment in time. So, no start for Tammy Abraham, and no spot on the bench for Tammy Abraham either. So fucking, it's like Piccadilly Circus people coming through at the moment. Bloody hell. United Stand will be 8 o'clock tonight, everybody. This is not the United Stand. This is That's Football. If you haven't figured that one out, then maybe you should subscribe. Bottom corner. I'm not drunk. I had a few drinks last night. If you saw the Instagram, you were lucky. I got rid of it quite quickly. But we're up and running in this game anyway, and I'm not ill. I'm just hungover. That's what's wrong with me. So I was in a very loud bar last night, and I was having to talk loudly. So my throat has, my voice has paid the price for that. But other than that, feel good. Where can I watch it, Mark? Says James Bennett McNulty. Get creative. I'm not going to give you a handout. And looks like you have a cold. Says, I haven't got a cold. I'm absolutely fine. I just went out and got a little bit drunk last night, and my throat is my voice is paying the price of that. I feel absolutely fine. I've got my cold's cleared up actually. I don't have a sore throat. I've just lost my voice a bit. Bournemouth to win. They always beat Chelsea, says Ray and Master. I did say welcome to the United Stand, says Duke Media UK. Yeah, not surprised. But Bournemouth not been doing particularly well of late, as we know. Should have done Liverpool versus Watford, says D13. No, I shouldn't. I chose to do this one. I live by doing my choice. I'm very happy with the choice that I've made. I'm more interested in Bournemouth-Chelsea than I am Watford-Liverpool, because I think that Liverpool will win that game quite easily, and they're going to win the league. So there's no context. There's no context to it. Brighton are going down, says George Nichols. Yes, I saw that Brighton lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace. So, I mean, what we're going to do is basically on this next couple of hours, we'll be keeping abreast of all the games that are ongoing for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. So that's what we'll be doing. But yes, I did see that Brighton lost to Crystal Palace, and I want Brighton to go down. I've got to be honest with you. I want Brighton to go down. I think that they play quite good football, but they're just a meh team. They're meh. They're not a team that I'm really that interested in. So yeah, James Bennett McNulty, you're boring the shit out of me. You're gone. Absolutely gone. I mean, why does somebody think that they can ask a question which I've actually answered and then continue to put it in the comments with capital letters? You're gone. Not even timeout. You're gone. Not in the mood for that today. Sack Potter, says Prosper. Brighton are a funny team. I remember them coming to Old Trafford was it November time, and everyone was like, oh, they're a really good team, and we absolutely smashed them. They're one of the worst teams we've played. My mic's not a bit off even. My voice is different because I was out last night talking loudly in a busy bar. So my voice sounds different. There is nothing wrong with the mic. There is nothing wrong with me. This is getting very boring for a Saturday afternoon of watching the football, talking about my voice and wishing me well. And I hope you're well. I'm fine. Did you see the Serie A game has been cancelled, says White Owl? Yeah, disappointed about that. Because I was going to do Juventus versus Inter as a watch along, and Bournemouth have just had a really good chance there, cleared away. Legend Mark, loved the weather rant last night, says Sebastian Anderson. Oh fucking hell! Keep doing it, James. I'll keep blocking you. So I can do it all night. You keep making up YouTube accounts. I'll keep blocking you. So let's see who wins. And Bournemouth will win, says Sassy Ranma. And can we think that we can win the Europa League, says Druvshar. We can think what we like. And Brighton have started the season off well, says Joe Grant. They did start the season well, but not so much now. I tell you what though, Chelsea dropped points today, and it's a real bonus for Manchester United, Arsenal, Spurs, Wolves and Sheffield United. These are the sort of games, with Chelsea being out of the Champions League effectively, this is a real opportunity if they do drop points for everybody else to sort of catch them up. So we'll see how it goes. But we've had about 6 minutes in this game. It's currently 0-0. It's 0-0. Newcastle Burnley playing as well. West Ham Southampton 0-0. And there are some German games going on at the moment. Oh, look, Dortmund are winning 1-0. I wonder who scored. Sancho. I was going to say, I was going to put good money on it being, what's his face? Haaland. Bayern Munich are 4-0 up after half an hour. Gnabry, Kimmich, Xerxes and Coutinho. There we go. Serie A, Lazio are winning 2-0. I bet Immobile scored. No, he didn't. And I'm getting them all wrong today. So yeah, we can keep you abreast of the scores. That's easy to do as well. And Bournemouth again. All over Chelsea at the moment. Thanks to everyone who watched the Top 10 show on the United Stand this morning. Really enjoyed doing the chart show on there, actually. And yeah, I'm Fred did it again. What was your typical partake in a ladyboy or two, says Luke Jones. Oh, I don't want to talk about drink. I do feel okay, but I mean, I actually got up and played football this morning, but I hate hangovers. I don't normally. I had too many drinks last night. And I mean, people who saw my Instagram story would say I was drunk. But I had too many. I had about 8 pints, and realistically, 5 is like, I can have 5 pints, get up the next day and be fine. I woke up this morning, I had a right bad headache. So yeah, it's not conducive with my mood today. But I will be doing United Stand at 8 o'clock, as well as obviously doing this as well. And where can you go to toilet at Old Trafford, says Guy Elkins. Do you think Liverpool will go invincible, says Zaki? They might do. I actually did say on my preview yesterday, didn't I, that I think Watford will get a result today. Nobody in the world's going to think they're going to get a result apart from me. But there you go. Do you think Leicester can be dragged into the top 4 race after dropping points yesterday? I tell you what, that just shows you. I was in the pub yesterday. Obviously, I didn't even see that Norwich beat Leicester. So yeah, I mean, look, that's a really good point there. That very good point there. That of definitely Leicester can get pulled into it. I mean, it's if Chelsea win today, they're 3 points behind Leicester. So there's a real opportunity for those teams, if they do keep winning games, to go and close the gap on Leicester. And Leicester have got a really hard April as well. So Leicester could choke. I mean, look, what I would say is, as a United fan, and I don't know what fans we've got in the live comments, and I don't know whether your club's in a top 4 race or not, but I certainly think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I saw something. Somebody tweeted something yesterday about Solskjaer's record. He's got, trying to say what a good record he's got, and I just quote tweeted it and said he's got to get 8 wins out of 11 to not have the worst ever Premier League season for Manchester United. But he could have the worst Premier League season we've ever had and still get top 4 because the teams just seem unable to be consistent this season. I mean, even Man City, the only team that's been consistent is Liverpool. What was and when were the biggest gap between United and Chelsea this season? Love top 10, Haaland on bench, all men need a hangover now and then, says Harold Holst Sversvold. The biggest gap between United and Chelsea probably was 10 points plus, wasn't it? But Bournemouth getting in again there. It's quite end-to-end, this game at the moment. Oh, what's going on here? Did you see the party rumours that's just come out about United, says Matt Mark? No, but I would love him to come to Manchester United. I really would. United are going to finish 3rd, says Mohammed Ismail. I'd be very happy if they did. When's career mode coming back, says Will Owen. I was going to play it today at lunchtime, but I'm just too... Alright, I'm going to admit it. I'm too hungover to play FIFA, and I think it would be not a good thing to do. So it probably will come back next week. Are you doing El Clasico watch along, Zaki Elite? No. I never wanted to do El Clasico. I wanted to do Juventus versus Inter, so I'm not going to do El Clasico. I'll just do 8 o'clock United stand tomorrow night. Oh no, I won't actually, because the fan cams will be up. So I might. You might get me doing that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see how it goes. HR94 says, do you think that Manchester United and Chelsea can get top 4? I think they could do, because I think Leicester could really get pulled into it, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Sprite's good for hangovers, harsh it. Yeah, I've had a Coca-Cola, but Sprite is good for hangover. I mean, you just got to eat. You end up just eating rubbish, don't you? You do. What do you think about Chelsea, says Herabito? I think Chelsea... I mean, does anybody... Can I just ask anyone? Anyone thoughts on the coronavirus, says Hafaz Mohammed? Well, I just have to wait and see about it, won't we? But what I was going to say is does anybody know why not Manchester United, why Tammy Abraham's not playing? Because I don't. I presume he's picked up an injury, and how long is he going to be out for? Because I think that's Chelsea's biggest problem at the moment is... the issue that they've got in relation to players that are not fit, but being out of Europe could help them. It really could. I'm doing all right, thank you very much. Oh, so I tell you what, some chips would be nice. I had a bacon sandwich at lunch. Do you think that if Bruno can make this sort of impact to this team, then do you wonder what sort of impact a Sancho could do, actually catapult United to possible title challenges, says Forecasmic. You don't, you know, it's very early days for Bruno Fernandes, and he's a very good player, and he is a player that I wanted United to go and get, as everybody knows. But we are in danger of becoming, you know, one-dimensional in the sense that, oh, you know, a player can make a team look good. If you put Messi into Bournemouth today, Bournemouth will look a lot better because of Messi. Is it because their coaching's better? No, it's because it's because of that better player, and I think we're seeing that. West Ham has scored. It's 1-0 to West Ham, by the way. Ed in the team hotel, says Asan. Yeah. Look, I think look, I'm going to talk about United at 8 o'clock tonight, but with regards to Manchester United, well, like, it's all people just want instant answers, don't they? You know, you're talking about that virus there. People want to know, is it going to go everywhere? Is it going to get resolved? Well, you just have to wait and see. And I think the same thing with Manchester United. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I think tomorrow against Everton is a huge game, really massive, and I'm looking forward to it. But if Chelsea drop points today, Leicester dropped points last night, then for Manchester United, it looks good. It does look good. But West Ham winning 1-0 against Southampton. I did predict that West Ham would win. And I think it's well worth... Imagine Bruno and Pogba together, Mark, says Mohammed Ishmael. What, on the football pitch or in the bedroom? What are we imagining here? But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the bedroom, aren't you? I don't want to imagine that, but I know what you're really talking about. You're talking about on the football pitch. And look, Pogba, I saw pictures of Pogba today with Eric Bailly and Ighalo, and he looks ripped. He looks big, and Pogba will improve us. He will improve us. It's a fact. West Ham, 24 points. If they win, they go up to 27, which puts them a point behind Brighton, who've lost today. Obviously Aston Villa, Watford against Liverpool. I mean, Brighton still could stay up because they've got a bit of a gap on the bottom three at the moment. Bournemouth could find themselves in real trouble today if they probably won't end up in the bottom three because Watford would need to get a win over the title elect winners in Liverpool, but they're on 24 points, Watford. But Norwich with 21 points now. That win against Leicester really has put them up amongst it. And I think that what surprised me is that Norwich actually did beat Leicester last night. I really would not have predicted that as well. I mean, let's just have a quick look at the sort of stats for that game, because Leicester are in real danger of choking, and they have been in the top four for most of the season. But then again, so have Chelsea. But Leicester had 19 shots and only 4 on target to Norwich's 11 shots and 6 on target. And they've only got themselves to blame. They've only got themselves to blame at the end of the day. That's all we can say. Are you doing a watch-along for Watford game, says Matt Fern? No. And Mark, we would all love if Chelsea loses, says Caleb. We would. We would, because it'll put a real cat amongst the pigeons. Dugout Channel says, Dugout Football Channel, if you could relive a sporting event, past or present, that you wished you'd gone to, what event would it be and why? Oh, definitely 99, Nou Camp, definitely. I mean, I'd be happy just to relive it anyway, but to actually be there, I don't think there's a better game that you could be at than that. There's been a booking here for Jorginho. Jorginho has been booked. I mean, when you look at the top four now, as I said, Leicester have played 28 games, they've got 50 points. And then you've got a 6-point gap to Chelsea. But if Chelsea did win today, they'd be 3 points off Leicester. And I think they've still got Leicester to play. So Leicester definitely can get dragged into it. If United win today, they will be 6 points off Leicester. So big opportunity there. And Leicester are pulling themselves into it. But Chelsea need to get a win today. They really do need to go and get a win. I think they're playing Man City next as well, so that's going to be an opportunity where you'd expect them to drop points. So massive, massive game for Chelsea. Thomas Morris wants Bournemouth to win. Well, it's been quite an equal start so far in the first 20 minutes. And Bournemouth are giving a good account of themselves. Samuel says hi and love from India. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Our next watch along is going to be Chelsea again. It's Chelsea versus Liverpool on Tuesday night in the FA Cup. Interesting, because I think Chelsea have got to take it relatively seriously, because Lampard will want to try and win a trophy. And will Liverpool take it seriously? I don't know. So that will be our next watch along. But everybody's welcome on here on That's Football. We do a lot of watch-alongs, and FIFA will be back next week as well, the career mode. I need to get that back on track. I don't love Chelsea. What tends to happen on this channel is you do get a run of games where seems to be the same team for a while. And Chelsea do seem to be getting a good run, but that's because they're in the Champions League, isn't it? And I did choose to do them this weekend. The games this weekend aren't that great, because I've got somebody said to me, are you not doing a watch-along for the Carabao Cup? And I was like, why? Aston Villa against Manchester City, why? What's the bloody point? But I think I'm disappointed that Spurs and Wolves is on at the same time as Manchester United Everton, which I'll be doing on the United Stand, because I think that's a good game. But it is a bit slim pickings this weekend. There's not many great games to cover, if you know what I mean. Anyway, what you could do, everybody, is give me some ideas for good films to watch tonight after the 8 o'clock United Stand show. Give me some good modern films that are out to rent at the moment, or just give me some ideas. I was going to watch the Green Book with Viggo Mortensen in, but I'm not convinced. I think it's a little bit too not what I want. Isaac says that Jorginho is now suspended for the Liverpool game. Well, they've got options in that midfield, haven't they, Chelsea? I mean, if Liverpool put a strong team out, they could win that. Kevin and Perry go large. Is the new Terminator out now then, Suraj? 1917, you can't rent it. You have to go to the cinema to see it. I'm not going to the cinema. So... yes, The Grey is actually a good shout, The Grey, because it's free on Amazon Prime at the moment as well, so that was a good shout. I can't watch 1917 because it's not out on rental. It's in the bloody cinema, which I saw. I did watch 1917 last week in the cinema, and I think it's one of those ones where you want to see it in the cinema because it's a good film, and I think Bournemouth wanted a penalty there, but it's actually gone the other way. 23 minutes gone, still 0-0. Ford versus Ferrari, says Sahil. I should get me pen and paper here. I'll write it on this. Ford versus Ferrari. And I'll tell you what I'm going to play in a minute, top 5. I love top 5s. Greed by Steve Coogan is in the cinema. I'm not going to the bloody cinema. I want to watch it at home. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Get Stuffed. I'm not watching any of that crap. Peppa Pig the movie. I've seen it a million times. It's crap. I've seen all the Harry Potter films. A lot of people talking about this Parasite film, yeah. Bournemouth versus Chelsea, very equal at the moment. I can tell you it's 1-0 to West Ham against Southampton. In that there's 3 Premier League games actually. Dortmund are beating Freiburg 1-0. Bayern Munich are 4-0 up. We got La Liga, First Division, La Liga. Where are you? You are. You're having a laugh. Is he having a laugh? You're having a laugh. Is he having a laugh? Dunkirk, seen it. Django Unchained, seen it. The Joker is a very good film, John Commode. Green Book is amazing, says Zach Yonker. I may end up watching that one, to be fair. Zed. Oh, come on. I haven't watched Drive to Survive series on Netflix. Is that the F1? I really want to watch season 2 of F1. If that's what Drive to Survive is, it looks really good. Some good classic films being mentioned in the old live comments. Shutter Island, The Dark Knight. Yeah, good. The new season of Formula 1 Drive to Drive is really good. Green Street is also on Netflix now, says Jonathan White. Yeah, I don't like Green Street. Is that the hooligan one? I don't like it at the end where he smashes his head in. There's a few things in films that make me not watch films again. Like, I never watch I think Saving Private Ryan's a really good film, but I can't watch it. And you know the bit in Saving Private Ryan which makes me never watch the film again. And there's very few things like this, but some films have things in them that I just find disturbing that will make me not watch the film again. And in Saving Private Ryan, it's towards the end where the German that they let go at the start of the film ends up in a fight with one of the Americans, and he has him pinned down and he slowly puts the knife into him and he's like shh as he does it. It just makes me... I just can't watch that film because I can't watch that bit. I hate it. We do watch-alongs for El Clasico, says Hypernova. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to make any promises on that. Watch Knives Out, Mark, says Umar Afsal. The Stranger on Netflix. That's a series. What? Still 0-0, 25 minutes gone. I mean, to be honest with you, a point... I mean, I'd love Bournemouth to win, but a point would do all right as well. Creed 2 and Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. I've seen 2 of those, HB. I haven't seen Creed 2 yet. I'm going to write it down. I think Creed 2 might be our free one as well. Hunters is not a documentary, says Holy Moly. And Chelsea starting to get the better of this game at the moment. I'm not watching The Wicker Man. I've never watched The Wicker Man, but the end would make... I've heard of the end, so I'd never watch it. That would disturb me, yes. Definitely the sort of thing. Chelsea on the attack here. I do think that Chelsea might struggle to score goals today. I think they're... no Willian. He's playing Pedro. Still no signs of Perisic as well, which... Not Perisic, Pulisic. There's definitely no signs of Perisic because he plays for somebody else. I watched The Irishman. I liked The Irishman, but I had to watch it over... It's like... Was it 3 hours? I thought it was over long. I thought it was a good film, but I thought it was a bit over long, to be honest with you. Let's do our first top 5 of the afternoon then. I'm going to say, let's do top 5 strikers in the Premier League at the moment. There you go. Your top 5 Premier League strikers in the Premier League at this moment in time. Not this season, not last season, not in the last 5 years, none of this reputation bullshit. Who are the top 5 Premier League strikers at this moment in time? That if you've got a game tonight and you want someone to be scoring your goals, who are you going for? Because I don't think, the reason I was thinking about this, I don't think Jamie Vardy gets in there at the moment. I don't think he's doing that well, is he? So... had a few knocks as well. I think that Anthony Martial definitely gets in there. Yes, I agree. Martial's goal scoring streak at the moment is absolutely superb. So I think Martial gets in there. Aubameyang does get in there. I know he missed an absolute sitter on Thursday, but he definitely does get in there, Aubameyang. I think Aguero always gets in there, yes. So Martial, Aubameyang, Aguero come to mind for sure. Not putting Harry Kane in there because he's injured. Not putting Marcus Rashford in there because he's injured. I want top 5 at this moment in time. Chelsea, no, I don't think there is a Chelsea striker that gets in. Certainly not a Spurs striker. Man City, we've done Aguero. Jimenez, yeah. I think Jimenez at Wolves gets in there as well. There's always one, isn't there? Hudson Bella. He says Shearer, Aguero, Henry and Van Nistelrooy. Well, you've named 4 and they're all 3 of them are retired. So, yeah, well done on that one. I think you could probably... Calvert-Lewin's not a bad shout, ex-Gurdy, to be honest with you. Danny Ings gets a shout as well. Some people are saying Gabriel Jesus as well. Tammy Abraham's not getting in offside because he's hardly played in the right now. You know, he's injured again as well. Igalo. Don't know why I'm laughing at that. Nothing wrong with him. Pucky's not really scoring many goals for them though at the moment, is he? He didn't score last night. I thought it was Lewis who scored last night. Steen Grim also says Aguero, Aubameyang, Firmino, Ings, and Jimenez. But you've not put Martial in there, have you? People run away with agendas. This channel's for everybody. We're not anti anybody. Like we have an open discussion, and if you're not putting Anthony Martial in there, you're a clown, really. His goals record in the last couple of weeks is as good as anybody. So Martial's definitely in there. Aguero is definitely in there, and Aubameyang's definitely in there. So that's 3. I think Calvert-Lewin is in there as well. I agree. I think Calvert-Lewin is in there. So that's 4. We've got one more spot. 1-1. Southampton have equalised against West Ham. I don't know who's got the goal. But there's been a goal. Bowen and Obafemi for Michael Obafemi has scored. So it's 1-1. We've got a goal in the Southampton game. So West Ham need to win. They're not now. It's 1-1. I've decided on my top 5 at the moment. My top 5 Premier League strikers at the moment are in at number 5, Calvert-Lewin. In at number 4, Jimenez. In at number 3, Aubameyang. In at number 2, Aguero. And in at number 1, Anthony Martial. That's my top 5. But you can mess around with them in whatever way you want in relation to order, but that's my top 5. Brennan says Aguero, Orba, Martial, Calvert and Ings. You see, I've gone with Jimenez. I think he's doing very well for Wolves at the moment. Richarlison when he plays, Victor Endstat. Yeah, there was a stat I had on the United Stand preview for Everton last night. If you go from the start of last season to now, the top 3 strikers under the age of 23 for goals are Rashford, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. And they've got quite a few. I think Rashford had 24, Richarlison's got 22, and I think Calvert-Lewin's got like 18. So they are scoring a lot of goals, those two. There could be a threat for United tomorrow. Top 5 actors. Well, it's so subjective, isn't it? But half an hour gone in this one. Still very, very equal. Will the quality of Chelsea start to come through, or can Bournemouth get a home advantage? I mean, the funny thing about Bournemouth and home advantage is, and they have beaten United this season at Bournemouth, but it's quite a tight ground, but it's only got a capacity of about 12,000, doesn't it? Matt Fern says Martial, Aubameyang, Aguero, Jimenez and Jota. Fair enough. Fair enough. And we've got a goal for Chelsea. It's Alonso who scores it. So they lead 1-0 Chelsea here. And Alonso has come into this Chelsea side and made a very, very big difference in recent weeks. I thought his goal against Spurs was fantastic. He did nearly score a goal against Bayern Munich. And he has got a goal again for Chelsea today. And literally couldn't miss. Literally couldn't miss. The cross comes in. I don't know who is it on the front post. I think it's Giroud on the front post who gets there, clips it up against the bar, comes out to Alonso, who's literally 6 yards out, and he could marry the ball and then put it in the back of the net. He's got so much time. It's 1-0 to Chelsea, and it's a well worked goal by Chelsea. We will do top 5 wingers in a minute, but Chelsea lead 1-0. Not the result we want from a Manchester United perspective. This was a game I was really highlighting that hopefully they would lose. But Reece James, who got put through the mill the other day, and actually it's not Giroud who gets the header on the front post. It looks like it might be Aki who, trying to head it away, heads it onto his own bar. Or maybe it's Giroud's foot. But Alonso, actually, to be fair, Alonso, I don't know whether with the Giroud goal, no goal because of a high foot. So it stays. No, it's not. It is a goal. It is a goal. It's 1-0. I was thinking there may be a VAR there, and a few people in the live comments were talking about VAR, but it's not. It's 1-0 to Chelsea, so we need to change the score. 1-0 Chelsea. It hasn't been VAR'd. We're into the carry on playing. I think if that had, I've got to be honest, I obviously don't want Chelsea to win, but if that had gone to VAR, I would have gone absolutely mad. I mean, look, this channel or whatever, we've all got our morals, and if they'd said that was VAR, no goal, I would have been on Chelsea's side there, because never in a million years is that not a goal. It's Aki's heading down low. Giroud's got every right to go for the ball, and it goes up against the bar and then comes across to Alonso, who finishes it very well. And it's 1-0 to Chelsea after 35 minutes. So, and I did say that though, didn't I? I did say Chelsea was starting to get a grip of the game, and lovely cross it was by Reece James, who, as I was saying, had a torrid time against Davies of Bayern Munich on Tuesday night, and I like Reece James. I think he's good. I mean, I don't think he's Wan-Bissaka or Trent Alexander-Arnold level yet, but he's got that potential to be. And the thing is, I think everyone says, "Oh yeah, you get owned." I remember Rashford putting Trent Alexander-Arnold on his arse twice at Old Trafford when we beat them 2-0 a year or so ago, and you learn from those experiences. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So I do rate Reece James. I think he will be a good player. Top 5 centre attacking midfielders, says Jason Harris. So we're talking number 10s attacking midfielders here, aren't we? Well, I like this one. Top 5 centre attacking midfielders for me. So it's 1-0 to Chelsea. We've changed the score there. In the other games, let me just tell you this. Chelsea are starting to turn the screw a little bit here as well. Still 1-1 West Ham and Southampton. Chelsea nearly making it 2-0 there. Bournemouth need to get hold of this. I do like Taters crisps and Mason Slinger. Taters would be a lovely packet of crisps to have when you are hungover. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to get up to 130,000. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. If you're a fan of football, subscribe to That's Football, because everybody is welcome on here. It's not about... We have a bit of banter. We wind each other up a little bit. I mean, I'm a United fan, and I'm sure there's different fans in there. But look, I hope Chelsea do drop points today. But ultimately, if they win, fair play. So they've done quite well. I thought it was quite an equal first 20 minutes, but Chelsea have started to take control. And whatever anybody says, and many United fans point to the fact that Ollie's beaten Lampard 3 times this season, and you can't ignore that. You know, Ollie's beaten him 3 times. Does that mean he's a better manager? I don't think it necessarily does. I think it means that Ollie knows how to beat Lampard. But I think if Lampard was United manager, I'd be happier than what I am at the moment, because 1, they're higher in the league than us, but 2, I think the style of football's good, and this is what we want to see from Manchester United. Top 5 attacking midfielders / number 10s in the Premier League at this moment in time. Well, you've got to start with Andreas Pereira. I tell you, it was a brilliant bit of defending from Bournemouth there, because it could have been 2-0. Corner came in, flicked onto the back post. It's going to be a tap-in for Chelsea, but their defender outstretched just puts his foot out and boots it up in the air. Offside said Reece James is better than Wan-Bissaka. But all that is, mate, is just you on your sticky keyboard hiding behind some username and talking crap. I mean, we can all do that. Oh, shock, horror. You know, I'm not shocked, and I'm not even going to entertain it other than to say I have entertained it in a way by reading it out, of course. But that's your opinion. But I don't think many people are going to agree with your opinion, because Reece James is a good player, but Reece James has been schooled in the last week. Wan-Bissaka has been schooled for about 10 minutes this season. I think Raheem Sterling did him in the first 10 minutes at the Etihad, and then he ended up being man of the match. Like, Wan-Bissaka has been ridiculously consistent, and defensively he has no peer. He is the best right back defensively. So at this moment in time, I think Wan-Bissaka is ahead of Reece James. Whether he will be in a couple of years, I don't know. We shall see. I think we've got another goal in the Premier League, not in this game. Just waiting to see. We have West Ham have gone 2-1 ahead. Thank you, Tyler Bridger. 2-1 to West Ham. They're back in front. And the goal scorer is... We're just waiting for it. It's Sebastian Haller. He's grabbed a goal. It's 2-1. West Ham trying to get those 3 points. I did predict West Ham would win today, and they are leading 2-1. My top 5 centre attacking midfielders then. Well, you've got to put Andreas Pereira in there. I'm only joking. Look, De Bruyne's in there for definite. De Bruyne's in there. I don't think a Liverpool player is in there. I'm tempted to put Firmino in, but Firmino does play as the sort of number 9, but he does create a lot. So Firmino gets a notable mention, because he's not going to get mentioned in the top 5 strikers. I prefer Ollie Ball with Bruno to Lamp Ball with Tammy, says Ashley GR. I think Lampard does need some better players, yeah. Imagine being Zayn, Arsenal are out of the Europa League and trying to banter us. Arsenal fans must be the most delusional fans on the planet, says Red Baron. We've got to be very careful of Arsenal, though. If you watched my preview on this channel yesterday, you've got to be very careful of Arsenal, because they have got 4 very winnable games coming up. And if they were to win those 4, and they're looking at the United games that we've got, it would be difficult. So, top 5 centre attacking midfielders, stroke number 10s at the moment. De Bruyne is in there. Bruno Fernandes is definitely in there. Is there a Chelsea player in there? Not really. I'm not a big fan of Mason Mount. I think I would like to include people like Maddison and Grealish in there, and I do think that Grealish, although he's a bit more of a box-to-box midfielder, I do think that he should be considered. Another good shot from Chelsea there, saved by Bournemouth. I think Chelsea trying to get the second goal here before half-time. We've got about 4 minutes to half-time. Chelsea, at the moment, turning the screw on Bournemouth, who've not had a chance in the last 5 minutes. It's all been Chelsea trying to get that second goal, which will surely kill off the game there. I think Firmino does have to be in that sort of attacking midfielder position as well. So I've got Firmino, Bruno, Kevin De Bruyne, and... I think, to be honest, I think Lo Celso's played well at the moment. But again, would you put him as an attacking midfielder? Sometimes he plays in that position, sometimes he doesn't. We're talking about right here, right now. What a shot that was by Reece James as well. That was the chance. And what about Jota's more of a winger, isn't he, for Wolves? So I think form at the moment: De Bruyne, Bruno, Firmino, Lo Celso. I'd like to put in... Oh, we're forgetting Lingard. We forgot Lingard. No, I'd like to put in a Maddison or a Grealish, to be fair, but Bernardo Silva sort of... I would say Bernardo Silva, yeah, but he sort of plays off the right, doesn't he? Or the left. Bournemouth are crap, says Rishab. Yeah, they're not... They're in the bottom 3 and they're looking like they're going to go down, Bournemouth. They're not... The thing about Bournemouth is, are they used to fighting for their lives? I don't know how many relegation battles they've been in, Bournemouth. They're normally a little bit higher, aren't they? So they're not playing like a team that's looking like they're going to, go down. I mean, they do look like a team that's going to go down, but they're not playing like their lives depend on it. I mean, this is a home game. They've not, there's less and less points to play for the closer you get to May, and I think that Bournemouth, I would have expected to be doing a little bit better. Can I just tell you something that's really exciting me? Can I just tell you something that's really exciting me as I look at my phone? I'm not looking at anything like that. But I'll read your super chat now, Andrew Chow. But what really is exciting me is I'm having steak and chips for my tea tonight. What an elite Saturday night tea. I'm having steak and chips. But this is exciting to me because steak and chips was always my growing up Saturday night dinner. Baywatch, Noel's House Party, whatever, Big Break, all these classic Saturday night shows, X Factor when it was good. Or I think steak and chips would always be there. But over recent years, we've not really had it. And tonight we went out football training this morning, and on the way back I said, should we just pop in the butchers? And we did. Because the thing that puts me off steak is when you get it from Tesco or something like that. I think if you want to get good meat, go to the butchers. So I went to the butchers and got some nice rump steaks. Lovely. So I'm going to have... What do you have with a steak dinner? I know it's off football for a moment, but what do you have with a steak dinner? For me, and my mouth's watering, steak, chips, mushrooms, beans, poached egg, and a side of Caesar salad. And some garlic bread. Bada bing, bada boom. Mark, my predictions are a draw versus Everton, a win versus Derby, a loss to City, a win in both Europa League games, and a draw to Spurs, and we'll beat Sheffield United. Thoughts, says Andrew Chow. Well, that's Manchester United's next 4 games in the Premier League is Everton away, Man City at home, Spurs away, Sheffield United at home. I think from those 12 points, we need to take 10 if we want to get top 4. I think we'll take 7. I think we'll draw 1 maybe tomorrow. We'll beat Spurs and we'll beat Sheffield United and we'll lose to City. But then again, the City game it's at Old Trafford, isn't it? So Pogba will probably be back for that, hopefully. Garlic broccoli looks nice, Sterling, Maxima. Well, yeah, feel free to get in the live comments with what you're having tonight. Some people will be having an Indian, Chinese, fish and chips on a Saturday night. Don't think I ever really had fish and chips on a Saturday. Oh no, yeah, you can have fish and chips on a Saturday night. I was gutted last night actually. Went to the pub, went down my local and met the lads at about 7:30. And I really didn't think we'd be out as late as we were. I thought 11 o'clock we might be done 10:30. And there is a fish and chip shop just next door. By the time I came out, it was like 1:30. There was the fish and chip shop had been shut for ages. So there you go. Favourite pie, Mark, says Dan11. I love all these favourite stuffs. Gets the conversation going. I love a good pucker pie. And my favourite pie, as we're about to approach half time, is beef and onion from the chip shop. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I like a good stew as well. Oh, I've got a funny story to tell you. I've got a funny story to tell you at half time. You'll be clipping this off. This will be clipped off, this will. So let me just get to half time and then I will tell you. We're at half time, Newcastle Burnley, it's 0-0. 3 minutes been added on in this game and 3 minutes been added on in the other game as well. Callum Wilson there. He'll be going. I mean, to be honest, you should always, of interest. You should always be looking at the teams that are going to go down, because the teams that go down, there will be an opportunity to get players that have performed quite well. It is half time in the Bournemouth-Chelsea game. Is Matic Ricky's kid? Also, have you ever seen Adam and Ricky together? Because we all know Ricky loves Matic and Adam is the British Matic. What would happen if they met? Says Red Baron. Ricky. Yeah, but what I was going to say there is that I think there is a relationship between Ricky and Matic. There's got to be. Maybe Matic gives Ricky, it gets him tickets or something. I don't know. There might be something going on. But with regards to if Bournemouth go down, they've got a few players that will definitely leave, like Fraser and Callum Wilson would probably go. Aki would go as well, you would think. And Norwich, Cantwell will go, won't he? And if Villa go, Grealish. So there are opportunities. I mean, Liverpool have been linked to Cantwell, haven't they? So anyway, half time. Let me just stop the clock and reset. I'm warmed up now. I was feeling rubbish at the start of the stream. I am very hungover today. So last night I was down the pub. This will make you laugh. This will make you laugh. So I'm down the pub last night. We stood at the end of the bar, me and a couple of the lads, and in the corner behind us is a group of girls. And I say girls, women, probably early 30s. I'm not going to comment on what they look like. That's irrelevant. Anyway, one of the girls says to one of the guys I'm with, "Can you take a picture of us?" You know, that's just what people do now, isn't it? Probably putting it on Insta or something like that. So he says yes. The girls turn, and whilst they're looking at the camera, one of them spots me and goes, "Oh, hold on a minute, I know you." Of course, it's quite a busy bar. All the lads know what I do, and like and I went, "Sorry, I couldn't hear." She says, "Come on, I know who this is." Everyone's obviously thinking, "Oh, she watches the United Stand or something like that." Even I think it. I walk over and I go, "All right, how do you know me then?" She says, "Oh no, you're that guy who walks along with a dog and no child in your pushchair every morning." And all the girls and everyone just starts laughing, and I'm like, "Oh God." So I actually thought she was going to recognise me because of the United Stand or something like that, and she ends up recognising me because what I do in the morning is I take Seb, my little boy, I walk him with the dog in a pushchair. Dog's not on the pushchair, the dog's being walked. Seb's in the pushchair. I walk him to the childminders, drop him off, and then I walk back with the pushchair and the dog. But it's quite a busy road. And I've said to the wife before, I've been doing this for about 18 months. When I first did it, I felt a little bit self-conscious because I'm like, there's so many cars go past you and you always notice things. And I thought, oh, I bet people think, why is he walking along with no kid in a pushchair and a dog? Well, I've now been recognised for it in a pub. But the funny thing is, the lads I was with, they thought it was brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. They were like, you thought she was going to say United Stand? I said, no, I'm not that person. I'm not that person at all. I'm not if you ever meet me or anything like that, you'll know. I'm not vain. I enjoy doing this, but I'm not like, oh, look at me. That's just not me at all. So, but it did make me laugh because it reminded me of a film. I think it's Bridget Jones. One of Bridget Jones's friends is sort of famous for doing a song 10 years ago, and they're in a restaurant and he's sat at the table and this person taps him on the back and she goes, "Excuse me," and he goes, "Yes, it is me." She goes, "What do you mean?" He says, "I did write that song." She says, no, your chair's on my coat. And everyone laughs, you see. So it was sort of one of those moments, but it was funny. But I think the funny thing was from thinking you're being recognised for doing YouTube to being recognised for being somebody she obviously thinks is a bit weird was great. A real down to earth moment, but funny all the same. Obviously, Van Dijk is better than Maguire, but it's irrelevant unless Harry is here for at least 2 years. Says China Brown. Bit of a debate going on there. Ollie out, please, says Gaz Elliott. Interesting few weeks. Look, I'm not going to talk about exclusively United because there's a lot of other other fans in the live chat here, but I think it really is an interesting few weeks. I think the top four race is really exciting. Obviously, Liverpool are going to win the title, and I think this year the relegation battle could be exciting as well. I think Watford are going to get something against Liverpool tonight. I don't know why. If it happens, then everyone can say, "Remember, Mark said that." Most people know Liverpool are going to win. Logically, Liverpool will win, but I think Watford are going to get something. I don't know why. But if Chelsea win today against Bournemouth, and they're looking good for it at the moment, if they win, they're 3 points behind Leicester. If United win tomorrow, they're 3 points behind Chelsea in fourth. They're 6 points off Leicester in third. So we think, well, if Chelsea slip up, United slip up, Wolves and Spurs draw, Arsenal will be going, we've got an opportunity there as well. So it's a really interesting race around the top four. Of course, Sheffield United and Arsenal not playing this weekend because of the Carabao Cup games. It should have been Sheffield United Villa and Arsenal Man City. Burnley, I mean, if they win, they could get it. If Everton win, so it's a really interesting situation. But I think Bournemouth second half have got to come out and do a lot better than they've done in that first half. They've got to do better because if they don't, then they're looking like a very strong candidate to go down. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, that's football. Everybody's welcome on here, and thanks everyone for joining me this Saturday afternoon. Chose to do Chelsea Bournemouth over Watford Liverpool basically because I want to enjoy my steak dinner tonight and probably get involved in the cooking and that. So I thought I'd just do the 3 o'clock game. And actually, I'm more interested in Chelsea Bournemouth because I think it's got bigger connotations in relation to the relegation battle, but more importantly, this race for top four, or Or it could be top 5. It could be top 5, couldn't it? George Nichols says that Leeds are coming up. Yes, interesting battle in relation to the top 4. Not top 4, in relation to the Championship at the moment. Let me just have a look at the Championship scores, actually. So Leeds beat Hull 4-0 at lunchtime. Blackburn and Swansea 1-1. Cardiff and Brentford 2-2. Huddersfield are beating Charlton 1-0. Fulham and Preston are 0-0. Luton losing to Stoke 1-0. Bristol beating Millwall 1-0. Birmingham City beating QPR 1-0. West Brom 0-0 with Wigan. Sheffield Wednesday are losing 3-0 to Derby County, and that's at half time. So that is a really interesting score. And Sheffield Wednesday are not down to 10 men. So Derby 3-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday at half time. Sheffield Wednesday are mid-table, as are Derby. And Derby have got an outside chance of getting into the playoffs. They are 9 points off Preston in 6th place. And Derby playing United on Thursday, which I think is going to be an interesting game. But with regards to promotion, West Brom are looking good. They're on 70 points. Leeds are now on 68 points. They had a little bit of a dip, but they're coming back. Fulham are third with 36, with 61 points. Forest play Middlesbrough on Monday. They're on 59. Then you've got Brentford, Preston 57, and Bristol City on 56. So it's looking like West Brom are going to come straight back up, and it's looking like Leeds will be coming up as well for the first time in what seems a long time for those Leeds. Right. Is this geezer having a laugh, says Blunt Smoke. Do one. Do you like the Saw films, says Jack Pace Debonair? I used to go and watch them in the cinema. I did like them, and then I think they just got stupid. Birmingham City are unbeaten in 13, says James. Birmingham City FC are great. And imagine Leeds come up, defo getting tickets to that game, says Jamie Boyd. Well, I've always been of the opinion that I want Leeds to get promoted. I'd like to see Sheffield Wednesday get promoted as well. But if you take Brighton out of the Premier League and you put Leeds in the Premier League, I don't care who you are. All right, it's a harder game because Leeds have got a big club and they'll probably spend, and they've got a decent manager and they've got a big attendance. But I'm sorry, I know this might come across as harsh, but if you're telling me I can ditch Bournemouth or Brighton to get Leeds in the Premier League, I'm doing it, because that's another game that you're interested in. You think about next season, if you're playing Brighton at home, you're just thinking 3 points. If you're playing Leeds at home, that's another big game, especially for United because of the rivalry. That's another 2 games in the season that are going to be really interesting. So I look forward to Leeds coming up. I think it would be good. Be really, really good. Forest coming up. Look, Forest fan and all that crap bollocks that gets spread around, but I would like to see Forest come up, because they're a traditional club when I was growing up that was in the Premier League and the old Division 1. Sheffield Wednesday are the same. I'd love to see them come up. I mean, they're not going to. West Brom, I think West Brom are a little bit of a meh team, to be honest with you, but if they come up, they come up. I think they will be coming up, won't they? El Clasico watch along. I haven't made my mind up yet. I haven't made my mind up on El Clasico yet. What do you think of Leeds goalkeeper being banned for racism, says Ashiak? I don't know anything about it, so I'm not gonna comment. Should Saka go to the Euros, says Jagtar Roth? I think it's going to get very interesting in relation to the England Euros squad. I really do. I think that there are so many good players coming up. Excited for the new James Bond film? Yes, I am, and it comes out. I think it just comes out around the time of my birthday as well, so I'm looking forward to that. I think that will be a birthday treat, a bit of Bond. What a Pratt. I mean, look, this is probably a little bit too long for us to do it, but What a Pratt says, if you had to make a Dream 11 using one player, max from each team in the Prem, what would that team be? I like that, what a prat, and I've got a pen and paper, so I think we'll come back to that one. But I do like the idea of that one. It sounds good, so we'll come back and do that. It would take a bit of thinking, wouldn't it? Because if you go and get one player from Mark, you can't take that. So yeah, I think it is interesting. Yes, Juve versus Inter has been cancelled, says Adam the Human. Yeah, this is the coronavirus thing, isn't it? It is a shame, but I think that this is probably going to happen in England and probably going to happen in a lot of countries. I mean, look, what I would say about this sort of thing is that people are dying from it. From what I've read about it, people who are dying from it are people who are older and already have underlying health conditions. But that doesn't make it any better. I know old people with underlying health conditions. I don't want them to die. So I think what hopefully will happen is that as soon as it starts to become an issue in my country or my area, they will close schools and they will sort of quarantine cities and stuff like that. And I know it sounds ridiculous because, look, a lot of people will get this illness. They'll just be a little bit ill and then they'll be over it in a couple of weeks. But there are people that it will kill. There are people dying in China, in South Korea, in Iran, in Italy. So we do need to take those steps. And then ultimately, you know, these people who get sort of quarantined in a hotel in Tenerife or on a boat, I know it's difficult mentally to deal with being stuck in a room for like 2 weeks, but the amount of lives it could save, I think, look, this is a reality, and it's I think it's definitely not a good thing, but I think the lessons that we can learn from it are that we're a massively overpopulated planet. It's overpopulated, and the problem with overpopulation is that if you do get something, I mean, there's that episode of The Simpsons, isn't there, where I think Homer goes back in time and the dinosaurs are there, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex is about to eat him, and he sneezes, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex dies straight away, and then all the other dinosaurs dies because that sneeze, or common cold, would kill a dinosaur because they're not used to it. So there are diseases out there that are going to come up, you know, like we've got with this virus, and there will be more in the future that are an issue for humans. So we almost need these. We don't need it to happen, of course. I don't want it to happen, but we do need these. We do need to learn how to deal with these scenarios so that they can be quarantined. Do I think it will spoil Liverpool's title hopes? I don't know. I don't think of it like that. I think, you know, at the moment everything's carrying on as normal, and let's hope that can happen. You know, you do. I mean, I worked in policing for 10 years, and I remember the riots going on in England, and I remember working hour after hour, and I just thought, how is this going to stop? I was like, what's going to stop people going out and looting and smashing things? What's the reason? And it does stop, and there are things in place. So I would put my faith in that, but we've got to be very careful. Very, very careful. Kick off for the second half. We are up and running in all of them. Let me just start the timer for you. Been up and running for a few seconds, I think, but let's just get a timer going anyway. Still 2-1 West Ham and Southampton, and obviously Bournemouth is 0-1 to Chelsea, and Newcastle are 0-0 with Burnley. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. I'm really enjoying what this channel's doing and how we're building it out. So I really enjoy just the relaxed nature of watching football like I normally do, and watching it with you lot and just having a bit of a chat and stuff. It's good. I've got some film recommendations. I really do like that comment about if you had to pick a Premier League 11, how would you do it if you could only take one from each? One player from a particular club, and I think that's quite an interesting concept. Can Bournemouth get back into it? I hope so, because I think it would be great for Manchester United if that was to happen. But from the evidence of the first half, I think Chelsea looked very, very strong. And they very much looked like they were going to get the second goal at any given time. So let's see what happens in the second half. Chelsea will win 2-0, says Chelsea fan. It was looking a bit like that, to be honest. Said Jamie this afternoon, what do you choose for national team as a basic left attacking player? Rashford or Raheem Sterling or anybody else has had my main concern with Southgate at the moment is if he's going to pick the right team, the right squad. The team can take care of itself if he picks the right squad. So let's see. Did you know if Leicester win tomorrow, if United win tomorrow, we're 6 points behind Leicester, says Toby Seffer. I did, and I do now. So thanks for letting us know. I've got a funny feeling Watford are going to beat Liverpool today. It's ridiculous. They've won every single game. They've only drawn with Manchester United. There is no logical reason for Liverpool not to win today. I just have a feeling that they won't. And we'll see, won't we? But I just have a feeling that they won't win. And I don't know why. We'll try and find out for the 8 o'clock show tonight. And Giroud did miss a sitter a few minutes ago for Chelsea, by the way. Big 45 minutes for Bournemouth. Big 45 minutes for Chelsea. I think if Chelsea were to win this game, it would give them a firm platform. I can't over-egg the pudding on this one. From a Manchester United perspective, I really need Chelsea to drop points because they're the team we're chasing down. They're out of Europe, basically. You want them to get into a rut of dropping points consistently. And it's all right people saying, well, they're out of Europe so they can focus on the top four. I agree with that, but you want them to start dropping points. And I look at their next game in the league. They're playing Everton next Sunday at home. I mean, yeah, they could drop points in that. They're playing Villa away after that. Then they've got Man City at home after that. Then they've got West Ham away, Watford at home, Crystal Palace away, Sheffield United away, Norwich at home, Liverpool away, and Wolves at home. So there are games there for Chelsea to drop points, but I'm always a big fan of you want them to drop points now. Start dropping points now. Mr. A says, Mark, your podcast with Paul Machin was recommended to me on YouTube. It was a top listen. Paul seems a top lad. That's a long time ago since I did that. Yeah, it was good. I like doing that sort of stuff. It's all about time, though, isn't it? I don't get enough time to do the things I want to do. And I really do enjoy doing the United Stand, but I really enjoy, my going for Goldbridge. I love doing that, and I want to do it every week, but sometimes I'll do it and then I won't do it for a month, and then I do it and I'm like, I've got to do it every week because I love doing it. And I love doing the career mode. I love doing FIFA. I love doing the career mode. I love doing the watch alongs, but a lot of the time it is time, and that's the problem. You're juggling so many things, and I don't get to then go and do stuff like I do get asked to go to London a lot. I do get asked to go and do stuff, but the time to go to London is a whole day, and I just have to say no to a lot of stuff because I'm not doing enough of the stuff I want to do. Can he wait for me steak dinner tonight? I'm so excited about it. It's going to be banging. Yeah, 1-0 to Chelsea and 0-0 with Newcastle and Burnley and 2-1 to West Ham and Southampton. I think I actually subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, but every Friday I do a Premier League preview if it's a Premier League weekend, and I do remember predicting, I don't know what I predicted in Chelsea Bournemouth if anyone remembers, but I definitely predicted West Ham would beat Southampton. I think Burnley and Newcastle, I may well have gone for a draw in that one, which at the moment is looking about right. I get asked this a lot, JJ Cock. Chinese or Indian? I get asked this a lot, and my thought process with this is that it just depends on the mood I'm in. Like, if you're asking me what I would like now, Chinese or an Indian, I would say I would probably prefer a Chinese because it's a little bit sweeter, and I think because I've been drinking, that's what I want. But I like them both, to be honest. Cece says, Mark, why do you have favourites in the comments? I don't have favourites in the comments. I read the comments that appeal to me. Do you think Bournemouth will get a bigger stadium in the future, says Mark John Quento? Well, how many years have Bournemouth been in the Premier League? Why have they not got more already? I don't know. So Chelsea are getting closer and closer here, I'll tell you that for free. Good little ball coming in from Mount, and Bournemouth clear it behind. Next goal is going to be crucial in this, but you do feel that Chelsea would kick themselves if they don't get 3 points, because they've been the better team for quite a long time and they've just not been able to get that killer goal so far. Munib Adamo says 100% Chinese because I'm Indian and I get fed up of Indian food. Yeah, I get what you're coming at from there. If somebody said to me, what do you prefer, an Indian takeaway or sausage and mash? I'm going to say Indian takeaway because I have sausage and mash quite a lot. And we've got a goal coming in as well for Bournemouth. It's 1-1, and I said Chelsea would kick themselves, and I think they're going to kick themselves because Bournemouth have equalised in a situation against Chelsea where they really should have put this game to bed, and it's a massive, massive goal for Bournemouth. Massive goal for everybody else in the top four, and from Chelsea's point of view, they're going to be really, 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 really pissed off, to be honest. But 1-1, Chelsea-Bournemouth 1-1, and that race for top four for United just opened up a little bit more. We would like another one as well, but it is 1-1. Bournemouth sort of against the run of play in many ways because they've not done that much since going 1-0 down, but they've got their goal. And Chelsea bottling it. Sorry, I don't know what is going on here. But this is big. This is big, big, big for Manchester United and everybody else chasing. You know, you've got to say maybe even Wolves as well. And West Ham are winning 3-1 as well. Yeah, West Ham have scored 3-1. That probably puts the game to bed there as well. It's Antonio on the 54th minute for West Ham. Predicted they would win 2-0. So I've predicted the score right, but not I've predicted the result right, but not the score so far. So need to change the score as well. It's 1-1 in this game. It's 3-1 in the West Ham game, and that result that we wanted from today. Header for Bournemouth from a corner it was, by the way. Just change the score. I think I predicted a draw in this game. I think I did. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did predict a draw in the Premier League preview. Can Chelsea come back? Well, I think Chelsea should have put this game out of reach. Gabriel. They should have put this game, Gabriel, out of reach. It should have been gone. And now Bournemouth will have the momentum. And maybe Bournemouth can go on and win it. Lampard will certainly be feeling at the moment that he's not getting the rub of the draw, but come see, come saw, as the French would say. What's this doing here? Get off. You could tell I'm hungover. Very, very, very slow today. And it's 2-1, I think. I think it's 2-1 to Bournemouth. Bournemouth are winning 2-1. I'm trying to change the score, and it is 2-1 to Bournemouth. What a turnaround. I didn't see this coming at all. I did not see this coming at all. I thought that Chelsea were well on top. Bournemouth have been really bad, but this is why Manchester United have got to grab hold of fourth spot, because Chelsea are just so bad. This will be their 10th or 11th loss of the season. I mean, they're so bad, and they should have had this game. They should have had this game on lockdown. They were comfortable at 1-0. They were having chance after chance after chance, and now it's 2-1. And don't tell me that Manchester United can't get top four, because if they beat Everton tomorrow, we've bloody got it. You know, we are fourth. It's not Chelsea's anymore. It's Manchester United's tomorrow. If we beat Everton, we will be fourth, assuming Chelsea continue to bottle this game, which at the moment is looking very likely. So 2-1 to Bournemouth. In the matter of minutes, they've turned this round, and Chelsea have bottled it yet again. So 2-1 to Chelsea, to Bournemouth. Massive turnaround. Really big result if it continues to stay like this. And Chelsea fans must look at it and go, what the bloody hell is going on at our football club? What is going on at our football club? How are we not able to put games to bed? You beat Spurs last week, but let me just repeat this. If Chelsea lose today, that's their 10th loss of the season. 10 losses. No, it's not. It's their 11th loss of the season. No, it's their 10th loss of the season, because they're doing it as it stands, I think, at the moment. So, massive 3 points for Bournemouth if they get it as well. All to play for in these last half an hour of this game. Still plenty of time to go for Chelsea, but at the moment, they've absolutely blown it. Smutty says, smash a like if you're hungover as well. I hate being hungover. I think it's 2-1 at the moment. It's not 3-1. Don't worry about that. People are saying 3-1. They'll get removed by the moderators, so don't worry about that. It's not 3-1. It's 2-1. It's 3-1 in the West Ham game. Roger Melty says, do you think that Lampard will get the sack? No, I don't. I think that Lampard will be given and should be given a little bit more time. I mean, it'd be very harsh on Lampard to get the sack when he's not even had a bloody transfer window yet, isn't he? Still 0-0. Stamford Bridge used to be a hard game, says Sian Y. And Josh King is helping United anyway, says Jenks 1102. Yeah. Sort of did sign for Manchester United anyway, in a way, didn't he? Because he's got that second goal for Bournemouth. Top 4 is engraved for United. Jordan Such, big contribution, Jordan, thank you. He says that, hi Mark, just looking at the league table as it stands, this would be Chelsea's 10th league defeat. To think Brighton have lost 2-12. As a United fan, I can honestly say, even if we do get top 4, a big part of me would feel embarrassed. Mate, I'm convinced we're gonna have our worst ever Premier League season, because to not do it, you've got to get to beat Moyes' record. He's got to win 8 of the next 11. So I think United are going to get top 4 with our worst ever Premier League season. You know, we shouldn't be getting top 4, but you can only do what's in front of you. And everybody has basically opened their legs and passed the loop. They have. It's like it's on a plate. It's been on a plate. Bournemouth doing a double over Chelsea, says Sohan Makeshi. Yeah, they beat them just before Christmas, didn't they? So Chelsea just can't win headers, says Extreme J. Look, if we've got any Chelsea fans, I would seriously say that your problem is that you're missing too many players and you haven't got enough players. I think up front, Batshuayi, look, we got 3 points at the Bridge a couple of weeks ago because Batshuayi's shit. Like, if he could finish, we wouldn't have beat you. So, yeah, you can talk about maybe Harry Maguire should have got a red card, but if Batshuayi could finish, you wouldn't have needed that red card. So, Giroud is a threat, but he's also got a big weakness that he's not mobile. Tammy Abraham, look, he's a young striker that if he gets injured, you're in big trouble. Pulisic has been injured. Hudson-Odoi's been injured. I think Chelsea really are struggling with the depth of quality that they've got, and they look tired. What do you think of Barkley? I used to think he had potential, but he's honestly kind of done nothing now, says White Owl. He's about to come on with Willian. Look, he is a player I thought that would do a lot better than he has, but yeah, I don't think he's really fulfilled his potential. Please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And if Bournemouth hold on and we lose tomorrow, I might cry, says Seema Turner Jr. Well, it's a big game for Manchester United tomorrow, as we know, and there are no guarantees that if Bournemouth do hold on to this and we win, that we will beat Everton. It's going to be tough, but what I think if Chelsea do lose this, we will win tomorrow. I just feel that things are happening for United at the moment. Moyes took over a team of champions, Mark, says Jenks1102. But see, this is what I mean. There's always two sides to a coin, because people will say, well, Ali, but this is our worst ever Premier League season. Why are you comparing it to Moyes? Like, this is our worst ever Premier League season. Van Gaal, Mourinho, but they had better players. I don't agree. I think we've massively underachieved. Man, the Everton game tomorrow is massive, says Mohammed Ishmael. And too scared to hope. We always fail when it matters, says Modder Girl. Bournemouth are actually rocking at the moment. Bournemouth look like they'll get a third goal. Just want this clock to run down a little bit now. 66 minutes gone. Still 20 odd minutes to go. Bayern are winning 6-0, by the way. Dortmund were winning. Dortmund are winning 1-0 in the 40th minute. In the 90th minute. Bayern have won 6-0. Lazio won 2-0 as well. A few games postponed in Italy, as we know, because of the virus. I'm totally Mark McKenna. I don't bet on draws, but I really do think that Spurs Wolves is a draw. London is red. Chelsea can't beat a pub team, says Zayn Miasi. And Mark, Mane or Sterling. Zayn, how can you have the balls to come in here and talk about London being red when you've just only 48 hours ago being kicked out of the Europa League by a bunch of Greek footballers? A Greek footballing side, sorry. Like, you've got no banter. Like, Arsenal, if I was you, I'd be thinking, whoa, look, Chelsea have dropped points again. That gives us a chance of getting into the top 4 race. But, come on, you're not in a position to banter anybody. It is raining a lot now. Chelsea fans will be dejected, of course. They just can't seem to catch a break at the moment, Chelsea, can they? Just shows you how football can change, though. I mean, we were talking at half-time saying Chelsea looked very, very comfortable. Bournemouth get a goal back and the game spins completely. So, and I think Wolves will do Olympiacos quite comfortably, by the way. So I think Arsenal are going to get a bit of an L in a couple of weeks as well when Wolves deal with Olympiacos without an issue. But Wolves, I think, have got to try and win the Europa League, because I think Wolves just haven't got the squad to do Europa League Thursdays and then Premier League on a Sunday. I think it's very difficult for them to do that. Giroud had half a chance with a header there, but yeah, I think it's looking very, very good for Manchester United to get top four now, because the doors have just been left open. You know, all you've got to do is walk in. And Chelsea have opened the door a lot. And the funny thing is, well, it's not funny for Chelsea or Leicester. The top four for most of this season, as I remember it, has always been Liverpool, Man City, Leicester and Chelsea. And now we get to the business end of things. Leicester are dropping points. Chelsea are dropping points. What price that not only United get top four, but maybe a Spurs or an Arsenal come through and get it, and Chelsea and Leicester slip out. There are enough games for that to happen. A lot of people saying if Chelsea lose, United will lose. It's what happens. You've got to no, that can't happen anymore. We've got to take advantage of what if Chelsea, even a point, even if Chelsea draw, I still think that is a good result if United can win tomorrow. And Danny Hoggy says that I still think third is on. I do. I think if United win tomorrow, 6 points off Leicester, into fourth spot, yeah, you go for third then. You don't want it to all be about fourth if you can actually get third. Please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Zayn Miasi says, Mark, Arteta has been here a short while. He's actually done more than Ollie. It's a small setback. We will hit back just like Tyson did against Wilder. You have spent $1 billion in 10 years. Zayn, you're talking out your arse today. I'm just going to tell you that now. Don't try and get into a debate with me that Arsenal are in a better situation than Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his first few games took 26 points out of 30. So Ollie did better than Arteta, a lot better than Arteta did. And also, you've just had your arse handed to you on a plate by Olympiacos under Arteta. I told you what your problem with Arsenal is. You won't listen. You keep talking about Arteta like he's going to solve all your problems. While you've got crap players, you still will put crap results in. He needs to get rid of 10 and he needs to buy 10. And that ain't going to happen overnight, not with your owners. So that's your problem with Arsenal. Arteta can have all the mind maps and tiki-taka plans he wants, but those players ain't good enough. Please do the Koulibaly rap. So catchy, says Run N. I can't even remember it. Now. I'll tell you what, I didn't actually have a cold when I started, but the longer I've been doing it, I'm getting a bit bunged up. I haven't actually got a sore throat. I was just out last night in a busy pub. And it was quite loud, so I was talking loudly. Still 3-1 to West Ham. Still 0-0 Newcastle and Burnley. And in this game, it is Chelsea 1, Bournemouth 2 at Bournemouth with 20 minutes to go. Mark's definitely hung over, George boy. Yes, he is. Batshuayi's coming on. says Lily. Well, that's probably good news. That's probably more news. Good news for Bournemouth because Batshuayi's crap. Do you think it's going to finish 2-1? No, I think there'll be another goal. I don't know who's going to get it. Hopefully Bournemouth, but I do think there'll be another goal because Chelsea have created chances today against this Bournemouth side. Chelsea have scored a goal, but it's offside, by the way. It's still 2-1 to Bournemouth. And what a second half it's been for Bournemouth. Batshuayi is rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. 6782 Anthony says Ford versus Ferrari. I think he's answering a question from an hour ago. You need a stiff drink to get well. Jägermeister says Yanks 1102. That is actually true. I remember a few times when I lived in Dublin, I'd be absolutely hanging from a hangover, but I'd go out that night, you have a couple of drinks and you get back on it again. Hey Mark, do you think heading should be banned? Says Dan Tatlow. No, personally I don't. I like heading. Giroud's come off, by the way. Mark, that's not rain, that's Chelsea fans crying, says Charles B. Lampard, I'm not going to read that. Oh, here we go. Zane says, we've outplayed you twice this season, don't forget, and the Nigerian is buying us soon. But when have you outplayed Manchester United twice? We played you twice and you beat us once. So you haven't outplayed us twice. And what I would advise you to do, Zane, before you start trying to act like Billy Big Bollocks, is check the league table, check where we are, and then come back when you're above us. Because at the moment, you're just full of air. Mark, are you streaming? You're like 5 minutes off, says Rohan Goel. I'm actually not talking about the game. And actually, I'm not 5 minutes off because every bloody goal that's gone in, I've been talking about it within seconds of it going in. So you're wrong there. The situation seems too good for United. I've got a feeling we're going to lose tomorrow, says the Doodle Guy Gamer. I don't think we will lose tomorrow because I think that momentum's a very important thing, and at the moment I think that the momentum is with Manchester United, and I also think that in football confidence is a real big thing, and Manchester United at the moment have got confidence. Thanks for the contribution, Jay Walker, appreciate that. Villa might get relegated. I think there's a big chance that Villa will get relegated, to be honest with you. Thank you. And if they do get relegated, I'll be sad because I know a lot of Villa fans, but also, what was I going to say? United will probably get Grealish on the cheap. And I think if Norwich goes down, I think Campbell will end up going to Liverpool on the cheap as well. So we've got about 15 minutes left in this game. It's still 3-1 to West Ham. It's still 2-1 to Bournemouth. And it's still 0-0 with Newcastle and Burnley. Leeds are coming up. Yeah, they are. Liverpool won 19 times. Liverpool to do the treble, says Adam Noon. I really hope not. I really hope not. That would be horrible. Absolutely horrible. But at the moment, it is a possibility, so you've got to be very wary of it. I mean, look, worst case scenario, let's bring Zane in as well and Arsenal fans. Liverpool do the Invincibles and the treble. Like they'd be the best team ever. Best team ever, wouldn't they? I'd hate it to happen. The treble's something I just want to stay forever and ever. I mean, to be honest with you, at some point people are going to get close. City nearly got close before. Last season, if it wasn't for Spurs, they could have won the Champions League. They won that domestic treble, didn't they? Mark, I'm seeing the invisible man tonight, a bit like Spurs, an invisible club, says Zane. So it's basically Chelsea against Bournemouth's backs to the wall now. Can Bournemouth hold firm? I don't think Chelsea are going to get anything other than a point out of this now, if they get that. So even that, I still think is a good result. Just didn't want Chelsea to win today, from a totally selfish point of view. But I think Wolves fans will be like that. Sheffield United fans will be like that. Arsenal fans are going to be like that. Spurs fans are going to be like that. Chelsea dropping points was good for us today. Bournemouth are at home, Kean O'Reilly. There's talk of a handball for Chelsea at the moment, but I don't think anything's going to happen with it. Mark, if Ollie makes the top and wins the Europa League, should he have another year? His signings haven't been bad, says Jason. Oh, if Manchester United get top 4, even if we have the worst season we've ever had, even if it goes down, even if the points tally is the worst points tally we've ever had, which is on record that it could have, then I still think that Ollie will stay if he gets top 4. If he gets Champions League football, he will stay. Which club do you dislike more, Arsenal or Liverpool, says Rajas Khan. It is Liverpool, but it's Liverpool are the club that I don't want to do well the most. So it's Liverpool. But it's because they're our biggest rival. That's why I don't want them to do well. Thanks for everybody for telling me I'm out of sync. Couldn't give shit. Absolutely don't. I really don't care because it's live. I don't control it. YouTube does. So it's not like I've done it on purpose. It's not like I can change it. It is what it is. Where is Agallo? He wouldn't be playing for Chelsea, mate. I'm not doing Liverpool versus Watford. No, I chose to do this one, so I'm not doing Liverpool versus Watford. Ricky says $5. So this time is running out for Chelsea. It's looking good for United. I'm I'm sort of holding back a little bit, but this is looking like the perfect result for Manchester United. I'd take 2-2 as well. I would take 2-2 as well. Come on, Bournemouth, says Mohit. Let's just have a check what the scores are in the other games as well. West Ham look like they're going to get a very big 3 points for themselves. Southampton are safe now anyway, so... And it's still 0-0 Newcastle and Burnley. I mean, if Burnley got a result in that, it would be quite interesting. I've got a feeling about us beating Everton, says Gary Wells. So have I, mate. So have I. Although Tristram says, I think that Everton are going to smash us tomorrow. And JJ Powell says, I love Bournemouth just for today. I would take 2-2 Pool World 1, yeah. I think Bournemouth are going to hold out. I think Chelsea are struggling. Really are struggling at the moment. Don't care, Ollie in or out, want United to win every game, says Saham Mukherjee. I agree. I agree with you, pal. I really do agree with you. Arsenal sold Gnabry so he could score 5 goals against them years later, says Daniel Mazzara. I mean, look, I would take Gnabry at Manchester United. I think he's a fantastic player, but Arsenal, you know, sometimes you let players go and they go on and do good things. It's hard. I think United are going to win tomorrow. I really do think United are going to win tomorrow, especially after this result today. Everything's going our way. Up the Arsenal, come on you Gunners, says Zane Miassi. I mean, seriously though, Zane, if you look at the league table and you look at your next 4 games, I think they've got Brighton, Norwich, Southampton in their next 3 games or 4 games. They're all winnable. If Chelsea lose today and United lose tomorrow and Southampton and Wolves draw, that's... everybody's dropped points there. So if Arsenal win, that puts them closer into that gap. So things can change around very, very quickly. What do I think of Chelsea, Abdullah? I just think Lampard's been, if I'm, you know, from a sympathetic point of view, I like the way Chelsea play football when I watch them, but he hasn't got the resources. He hasn't been given the resources. You can't, you know, does he want to be playing Giroud up front? No. He wants to play Abraham, but Abraham's been injured. He's been overplayed. Pulisic has been injured. Loftus-Cheek has been injured. He's not brought players in. You know, some of those young players have done a really good job, but I think when it hits March, some of those players are going to become inconsistent and tired. And I think Chelsea's problem has been inconsistency. And I think to lose 10 games, it's a joke. It's a joke. Jordan Such says, Mark, given United, Spurs and Arsenal don't have owners that like to invest serious amounts of money, do you see these teams being just as bad next season? Look, if you got Bruno Fernandes at United, if you get Jadon Sancho in, that's 2 players that make that United team better. So I'd expect them to be better next season. Do I think that they can win the title? No. Did you see Aubameyang's bicycle kick and Martinelli's dribble against Chelsea, says Zane? No, the only goal I've seen of Arsenal's lately was that was the winner for Olympiacos. I've watched it so many times. And Aubameyang's miss. I love it. That's my favourite Aubameyang action of the season. It's one of those ones where you think he's going to score every time you watch it again, and then he misses every time. Why do you keep coming in and out? Predicting United 3-1, Everton to score a hat-trick, Bruno to score a hat-trick, says Jordan M. And it's 2-2. It's bloody 2-2. Bloody knew it. You just knew it. Well, look, actually, you know what? 2-2. How long we got left? 4 minutes. I still take that. I'll still take that. 2-2 it is. Alonso with the second goal. What a difference he's made for Chelsea. But it's disappointing. It's super finish from Alonso again. He has been a lifesaver for Chelsea in the last couple of weeks. But as long as they don't go and win. As long as they don't go and win. Although VAR, they are checking VAR. Chris Monell says it's going to be 3-2 to Chelsea. You just know. It might not be. It still could end up being 2-1. To Chelsea, then I've got to change the score here, and there is no VAR, so I still say this. If you'd said to me this morning, Chelsea will draw with Bournemouth, I would say that is still a very, very good result. It doesn't mean United can't go fourth tomorrow, but you still close 2 points on them, so I would still take that. As long as they don't go and win it, that would be a real kick in the teeth. So 2-2, about 2 minutes to go. Two minutes to go. Still 0-0 Newcastle and Burnley. What? Exciting last couple of minutes then. Well, it's not exciting. To be honest, I just want the final whistle. Blow the final whistle, ref. Let's get this game finished. We all want to just go home and cook our steak. So it's 2-2. I'm just changing the score now. Chelsea looking very comfortable in this game at one point. Bournemouth quick fire 2 goals. Chelsea have huffed and puffed, and they have actually gone and got an equaliser. Can they get a winner? That would be a real injustice for us Manchester United fans if they did. It's not 3-2, it's 2-2, so don't worry about that. I will tell you if they get in front. Charlie, don't worry, the fake score people do get blocked, so they do it once and then they're gone, so it's fine. It's 2-2. Can we just talk about other stuff? Because if we're all just going to wait for for Chelsea to win it, we're going to have a long couple of minutes. Let's talk about our favourite. What's your favourite chocolate bar? For me, I think Topic is a classic. Zayn Miassi, Mark, we beat you at the Emirates and outplayed you at Old Trafford. You have a better defence than us, but with Pep. Zayn, I'm not even going to read the rest of that comment because you're deluded. You're absolutely deluded. '90th minute. Come on, Bournemouth. Just hold out. Hold it out. Still 2-2. Into the 90th minute. 3-1 in with the West Ham and Southampton game. And 0-0 Newcastle and Burnley. I think I've predicted this all right. In my Premier League prediction show yesterday, I did say that it would be a draw with Chelsea and Bournemouth. A draw with Newcastle and Burnley. And I said West Ham would win. You know what? Can I just say this? What I really don't understand with the people, some of the people who put the fake scores in have actually watched these streams loads of times. I recognise the names. You're blocked. So what purpose do you get out of it? Like you've clearly enjoyed watching streams in the past. You've clearly enjoyed getting involved in it, and then you go and get yourself blocked for something that's just really stupid because I've got the score right in front of me, updating second to second. So people aren't going to read your fake score and think it's real when I've actually got I've got a notifier right in front of me. It's the quickest one out there. So you're just getting yourself blocked for no reason other than being an idiot. We're in the 90th minute plus 2. It's still 2-2. It's still 3-1 in the West Ham game, and Newcastle Burnley is looking like it's going to be 0-0. Mark just wanted to make this super chat to say F you to everyone who puts out fake scores. Yeah, but I think people who put the fake scores out, let them crack on. Because ultimately, don't believe it. Just wait for me to tell you what's actually happened. Like, it's 2-2. Simple as that. And all me and the moderators are doing is everyone who's putting it in are just getting blocked anyway. So they can't do it. You know, do it as much as you like. You get blocked. So you can't comment anymore. You're gone. It's as simple as that. And you might think, oh, sod it, I'm not bothered. But, like, no one's taking any notice of you. It's just very easy. Look, there we go. Graham Jones. You're gone. Blocked. Out. Finished. I think this is going to end up being 2-2. There's only 2 minutes to go. This could be a massive couple of minutes. Zayn Miasi, you enjoy beating us at the Emirates. We will enjoy picking up a European trophy at the end of the season, says Jordan Such. And Mark, could you talk about bogey teams, says Gulad Youssef. Well, it could be Everton tomorrow. Mark, you doing a watch along for tomorrow's cup final, says Crow 7. No. I think it's an absolute waste of time. Yeah, Farmer, I use Flash Score, very, very quick. So I watch the game, but I also have Flash Score in front of me, and it literally is very fast. Who's the worst manager among Moyes, Van Gaal, Jose and Ollie? I actually don't think Ollie is the worst manager, but statistically he is. Still 2-2. I think it's going to end up 2-2. Come on, full time. I'm just waiting for it to update and say full time. If I had $1 for every fake score, no, they're just sad. They're absolutely sad. It's virtually full time. Jordan Such, we had Bergkamp and Henry. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, says Zayn Miasi. What is he on about? This is going to be a draw. We're just waiting on the full time now. Still 2-2. Betting apps are quite good for update scores as well. Come on, just change to full time. 2-2. 2-2. This is still a good result for United. Still a good result. I know it would have been perfect if Chelsea had lost, but they've still dropped 2 points. And that's all you can do. If you go into every Premier League weekend and you make up points, then you've done your job, haven't you? I think it's full time as well. Just waiting for confirmation. And it is full time. It's 2-2. And it's Chelsea who drop points. And Newcastle and Burnley have drawn as well. But it's 2-2. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Chelsea dropped 2 points there. West Ham are going to beat them as well. So very, very, very almost a brilliant result. United could have gone fourth if they'd won tomorrow and Chelsea had lost, but it does end 2-2 with Chelsea and Bournemouth. So I'm happy with that. Ultimately, I'm happy with that. I think that it would have been nice if they'd lost, but they've drawn, and United can't draw tomorrow. We've got to go and win tomorrow now. We've got to go and win tomorrow. So, yeah, that's great. Right, thanks everyone for watching. What I'm going to do now is, because there was a lot of fake scores coming through there, I'm just going to go back on the live comments when I finish the stream and block every single person who said 3-2, because we don't want twats on this comments section. The fake scores don't bother me because I know the score. It's there in front of me, but some of you do get quite anxious about it. I would just say ignore it. You're watching me. And there are people in the live comments who make really good comments. So just ignore scores, because 90% of the time it isn't true. So they're just little saddos. So I'm going to go through and block a lot of those 3-2ers now anyway. But everyone else who was watching, thanks very much for watching. Really enjoyed it. Next watch along's probably going to be either El Clasico tomorrow night or Chelsea Liverpool on Tuesday night in the FA Cup. FIFA will be back on Monday, career mode. Looking forward to that. Can't do it tomorrow because Manchester United Everton on the United Stand. And I'll be live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight as well. So join me later for that one. Thanks everyone for watching. Ultimately very happy with Chelsea dropping points. Could have been a little bit better, but still a good result. West Ham won as well. So that is looking tight down. I think the relegation battle looks good and the top 4 race looks good at the moment, especially with Leicester losing yesterday. But thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you at 8 o'clock on the United Stand. And if you haven't watched the chart show, week 3 of a new show on the United Stand, the chart show, every Saturday morning, the top 10, counting down 10 to 1 United players of the week. Really enjoying doing it. Please go and give it a watch now. Subscribe to this channel before you go as well. And I'll see you all at 8 o'clock. And check out the chart show. See you soon. Thanks everyone for watching.